KSA Radio, where you are family. My name is Ethan, and I'm chatting to Juan from NOUS Art Therapy. So could you quickly introduce yourself?
My name is Juan. I am a small town boy. I come from Springs, and then I moved to Johannesburg. And through all my studies, I then decided to start my art therapy company. The company was started because there is a special need for alternative therapies in this country, where people don't necessarily just focus on talking to the therapist, but rather creatively expressing yourself while in therapy as well.
So a lot of this started for you in academia, where you wrote a dissertation or thesis about this exact topic, about art therapy. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes. So when I did my master's degree, I did it in art and psychology, and then it was about the symbols that manifest in artworks created by people suffering from schizophrenia, and also to see the model that I created during that thesis was a Jungian model that was based on dream analysis, and I recreated the dream analytical model to analyze artworks specifically created by people suffering from schizophrenia. Now, that does not necessarily say that it can only be used for them. It can be used in a broad spectrum as well.
What are some of the trends that you noticed from the art that is being produced by the people with schizophrenia?
So what you do notice is that everything is distorted and nothing is connected. So the objects that they draw or the symbols that they draw are not necessarily connected to the other one, because in a schizophrenic's mind, nothing really is connected. It's like a shattered glass. They struggle to fit the pieces together. So when it came to the art therapy, they would draw these symbols, but they didn't necessarily know how to fit everything together. Now, when you work with them and you explain to them why they drew this and why that, they start to realize the bigger picture. And I could really see a massive improvement in these patients in a year.
Wonderful. Tell us more about your art therapy practice and how you help your patients.
So my art therapy practice was started last year after I did some more studying. I started because I wanted to help people, of course. But after more research and looking into things, I specifically got interested in the LGBTQ community, because I still believe that they are, this might sound strange, but they are misunderstood. And I believe that the community, people suffer from many things and they don't necessarily talk about it. And that's when we have high rates of suicide, especially with teenagers who are gay or lesbian or transgendered. And this is really concerning to me. So this was one of the reasons why I decided to focus more on LGBTQ rather than a normal person, because I have a deep passion for helping especially teenage people who are LGBTQ, and to help them through the process of realizing that this is who they are, and they don't necessarily have to put themselves down, or they don't have to allow society to put them down, or their parents, and they can be who they are. It is okay.
So could you give a rundown around what art therapy is for somebody who might not understand exactly what happens in an art therapy session? Can you just explain what a typical session would look like?
You can't say what a typical session would look like, because every person is different. But what I can tell you is that, let's say you're a client who comes to me for the first time. So what would happen is that I would have a talk with a client to see where they are and what are the specific issues that they would like to deal with in therapy. If there are any specific issues, I would ask them where they want to start. Do they want to start with a background? Do they want to jump right into it? It differs on person to person. And then from there on, you start to create a program for the client where they will be drawing and creating models and painting things. And through the process, you must understand that with art therapy, it's more about the process than it is on the actual product that you create. Through this process, the client then comes to realize that, I am dealing with this problem in the wrong way. I should rather deal with it in this way. And then also, while the client is creating the art, the therapeutic conversation that surrounds that creation is extremely healing for the client as well. So the client, you can say his boundaries shut down, because when you are creating, when you are drawing something, when you're doodling or something, your unconscious mind has the free will to enter your conscious mind. And through that, you start realizing that, oh, I am dealing with this problem not in the correct way. I should rather think about it in this way.
So then let's talk about pricing. What kind of packages do you offer if somebody wants to sign up? What are they kind of getting themselves into in terms of how much it will cost?
Okay, so apart from the art therapy, I also do traditional therapy as well. I also do psychotherapy. My sessions are 50 minutes long, and a session is 500 Rand an hour. For 50 minutes, sorry. But I also give the client 10 minutes afterwards to have a moment of self-reflection. And I like to have 20 minutes in between clients because some clients need some processing time to leave, and then the next client comes in. So there's ample time for self-reflection afterwards as well.
Wonderful. And if somebody would like to get a hold of you to book a session, how do they do so?
Okay, so they can contact me. I have the general email address for the practice is info@nousart.co.za, or they can contact me on Juan@nousart.co.za, or I am also available on my cell phone number, which is 072-763-9900. And then I also have a Facebook page, which is NOUS Art Therapy. And I have a sister page, which is called NOUS Gay Counselling. And then we also have a private group on Facebook for people who are struggling to deal with certain issues, specifically for the LGBTQ community, which is strictly moderated by 3 mental health professionals. It's me, a clinical psychologist, and a counseling psychologist. And then obviously they can go to the website, which is www.nousart.co.za.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the interview, Juan. And it's NOUSART, NOUSART.co.za.
ZA, that is correct. Yes, Ethan, that is correct.
KSA Radio, were you a family? That is me chatting to Juan from NOUSART here on KSA Radio.